The first reason I want you to think about that your wife may have taken her wedding ring off is that she feels pressured. I think this is actually one of the best catch-all reasons to understand about why women take wedding rings off. Women do not like to feel pressure, and a woman feels pressure differently than you and I feel pressure. For example, men oftentimes thrive on a little bit of pressure to do something, pressure to accomplish something. That same pressure given to a female actually might make her feel not just hurt, but fatigued and not at all very nice. Now, I'm speaking in generalizations about men and women, but these are generalizations that are existing because they tend to be true. And so women in a relationship do not want to feel pressure. And a wedding ring at some point can feel like a symbol of, or even directly, a certain amount of pressure. Now you might be thinking, what kinds of pressure? What do you mean? Let's summarize it like this. Anytime there is a stated expectation, desire, something explicitly said or implicitly implied, to be something, to do something, to accomplish something, you have put on a woman, you have essentially given her the opportunity to feel pressure. And women do not like to feel pressure. And so one of the primary ways women feel pressure at this stage in a relationship is the pressure of both your happiness as a man, your well-being, your sense of feeling okay in the world, and your sense of confidence and security in the relationship. So those are kind of the highlights. Now, there could be lots of stuff she feels pressured about in the world, but as it relates to marriage, it has a lot to do with her feeling pressured to be the provider of all these things for you: security, confidence, a sense of self, a sense of well-being, a sense of groundedness, a sense of masculinity, right? All these things, essentially in marriage, a man ultimately discovers he's quite insecure in. He's quite non-confident in these things. Now, he might think he's great because maybe he goes to the gym and he's got a great physique, maybe he makes a ton of money, but he might actually still be a really insecure man. And one of the ways that shows up is this man keeps needing to go back to the woman in his life with this question mark, this deep question in his mind: are we okay? Are we okay? And what he really is asking her is, am I okay? And this gets really tiring really fast in a woman's life, because what she's experiencing is the pressure for providing for an emotionally, spiritually needy man. A man who actually lacks confidence in the very fiber of his being. He's got plenty of confidence perhaps in his doing, but he does not have very much confidence in his being. Not unless she says, honey, you're okay, we're okay, I think you're great. And this shows up in lots of ways. In a need for constant validation, in a need for constant assurance, in a need for constant sexual attention, a need for constant affection. Tons of ways this shows up in a man's life, that she feels on the hook for giving him all these things to just keep his sense of feeling okay from going off the rails. And that need for her to provide that for him is pressure. And it's a pressure she doesn't want. It's not helpful to her. It's not attractive to her. And it starts to erode the relationship. And the ring becomes a symbol of her being on the hook to provide these things for him. And that will go in a bad direction really fast in a relationship. Now, how your wife came to feel this pressure was that at some point, as you have been in a relationship with her, you stopped learning to be a confident, secure person. You ran into things that kind of caused you a little bit of a pause. You came across something that upset you or rocked your confidence a little bit. It could be numerous things in your life, but one way or the other, you stopped knowing and believing that you were okay unless other people told you you were okay. And this is not a rarity. This happens to every man in a long-term relationship. No matter how confident and secure he is in the beginning, he will enter a season where he becomes insecure and he's experiencing some testing, and that testing, whether he knows it's happening or not, will reveal this insecurity, this uncertainty, this fear and anxiety, sometimes shame, and it's upsetting. And what men do is they reach for the grab bars of the feminine in their life. Tell me I'm okay. Tell me I'm okay. And this shows up as this level of neediness and clinginess sometimes, and a need for certainty and soothing and validation and affirmation and attention and affection and all this stuff. And women feel that all as pressure. So to avoid adding more, you need to be able to navigate through this particular spot delicately, right? Now, I want you to understand, if she feels pressure by the relationship, so she's taken the ring off, then how you relate to her about this ring is itself an opportunity to either relieve pressure or add it. And so when men start saying, hey, why aren't you wearing your ring? What's that about? Like, I need you to wear that ring. You're kind of freaking me out. How do I know you're not blah, blah, blah? Pressure, more pressure. You're actually showing her yet another way she needs to manage your sense of okayness, and that she has power in a thing she takes on and off her finger to control your sense of inner well-being, emotional safety, and peace. That is more pressure. And so to relieve her pressure, you need to start owning these parts of yourself, which many men can't fathom doing. They can't fathom actually walking through life having no part of their well-being having anything to do with how their partner feels about them today. That just feels normal for a lot of men. Well, brother, it's actually only normal for immature men who have not yet matured into their fullness of what's possible for them as a confident, masculine, secure man. And so that is how you start actually relieving this pressure. You go on that journey. You start doing an internal work of addressing, what is all this fear and anxiety and uncertainty about with me? And why do I feel this way? And what do I do about it? And instead of actually seeing her as a solution, instead of seeing her attention, her affection, her engagement with you in sexual intimacy as the fix for that, you need to look for more durable and reliable ways to answer those questions within. And that's how you start removing that pressure. That's how you start moving in the direction of becoming calm and confident and secure in yourself. And as you do, you relieve your internal pressure, because the reality is it's your pressure that's adding to the pressure that your wife feels. Your pressure to know what happens next. Your pressure to know, am I a good man? Your pressure to know, what am I here for? Your pressure to know, do people love me? Am I attractive? And so forth, and so forth, and so forth. And so if you relieve your pressure, it will greatly reduce the pressure your wife feels. And when she feels less and less pressure, she'll be able to return that ring to her finger as a symbol of connection and love and devotion, instead of it feeling like just one more thing reminding her that she's responsible for, that she can't seem to get out from underneath. I hope you've found this helpful. I encourage you to keep watching the videos. And if you have an opportunity to connect with us using that button below, I think you'll find that tremendously helpful. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.